Boom, bam. What's up, everybody? Okay, so what advice would I give my 21-year-old self? I'm 51 now, so it's 30 years back. So, what advice would I give my 21-year-old self? I have to say overall, I didn't mess up on the big things. Like I never did drugs. I don't drink. I never got into any kind of street violence. I didn't knock up anybody. Went to college, on my own dime. So in that respect, I did the big things right, but I'm a human being. I'm fucked up like everybody else. So I guess number one, I would say, don't date that girl. Well, the girl you're going to date at 25 from college, just date her for 5 months. That thing went on and off for 3 years, so it was a hot mess. But so I would say that. Yeah, I would say you're going to meet a girl in college, and she's hot, but just give it to 5 months. The other thing I would say is to believe in myself a little more. When I was 21, probably like you listening to this, I didn't, believe it or not. If anybody who knows me won't believe that I'm saying this, but have more belief in myself. I always thought I was dumb. I always thought I was ugly. I always thought I was, not as good as the next person, whatever. So I would say believe in yourself a little more. You're better than you think. You're stronger than you think. You're smarter than you think. But I had my doubts, and I don't know. Maybe we were all like that at 21. I think living life, sometimes you go through life and you get a little more confident. The other thing I would say is, this is a big one. I would tell myself, it's great that you're a religious Catholic person at 21. I'm not religious, or I'm not as religious anymore. But I would say, hey, that's great that you're religious, but take it with a grain of salt. Don't be crazy, because at 21, I thought I was going to be a pope. Like, I was so hardcore Catholic. You don't even understand. You don't even understand. Like, I really, really was drinking the grape juice. I mean, it was unhealthy. Even priests were like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Like, I was going to confession every 7 days and confessing nothing. Yeah, the priests were like, why are you here? And, so it was obsessive compulsive. I mean, so yeah, I would have told my 21-year-old self, just relax. It doesn't matter. You ate meat on Good Friday. Whoop-de-doo. It's not a sin, even though technically it's a sin in the Catholic Church. In reality, it's nothing. Let it go. Whoop-de-doo. So like stuff like that. So I would have been easier on myself. I really, really beat myself up, trying to be this perfect Catholic. And I'm sure some of you listening to this can probably concur with what I'm saying. If you're a Jew, a Muslim, a Hindu, a Protestant, whatever, if you're really, really into your religion, sometimes you can let it ruin the beautifulness of a faith or a religion. I think that all religions are beautiful, but when we start to go a little bit too much, we start hurting ourselves, hurting others, whatever. So, I was very, like I took it like, to the nth degree, like trying to be perfect and looking down on others because they weren't Catholic, so it got a little out of hand, so it took me, I always say I'm a recovering Catholic, but anyways, so I would have told my 21-year-old self, I would have told my 21-year-old self, chill, bro, just chill. Take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Have some fun. What else? I would say, if you're going to be with somebody, if you're going to get married, Anthony, at 21, my 21-year-old self, I would have been like, dude, if you're going to get married, you have to date the woman for 4 years, you fucking moron. And, so I would also say invest more. Not that I was some degenerate, but I did invest my money when I was younger, even before 21, but I would have told myself, invest even more, like put more away, invest more. So those are the things I would have said. I don't know. I mean, what else could I say? What other bits of advice could I give my 21-year-old self? I don't know. You try to enjoy the moments you have, and I did, but moments are fleeting. What else? Other than that, I played the big things right. Like I said, didn't do drugs, didn't knock anybody up. I didn't, go committing crimes and like that. I kept my nose clean. I worked hard. I worked myself through college. And I would tell my 21-year-old self, don't go to college. Don't go to college. I paid for my own college. Nobody forwarded me money. Nobody lent me money. Nobody gave me money. I had no loans, no help from the government. I would have that's big regret I have. I could have got educated for free on the internet or go to the libraries because I wound up never using my college degree like a lot of people do. I would have said, Anthony, take that money that you're spending on college and just invest it. Do not go to college. Don't go. Just start your business as you were starting. I started my DJ business at 20, I think. I would have just honed in on that, started other businesses, which I did, and just take the money that I spent on going to college and grad school and just use it just put it in the S&P 500. That's what I would have told myself. That's a big one. You don't usually hear that, but anyways, that's it. That is it. Tell me what you think, folks. What advice would you give your younger self? Over and out.